Hi, it's Bobby Silver from Sudden Admiral. Today I'd love to talk to you about putting offers in on homes and what I do and what I would suggest. But again, it's an individual thing and every agent is different. But most agents tend to like you to put in an offer very close to asking. And lately, over the past couple of years, obviously homes have gone for what they say is over asking. In reality, it's not really over asking. If you price a house on the market today and you lower the price by 10% of what the house actually should sell for, so if you have a property that's worth $500,000 and you list it at $450,000, it's easy to say you're getting over asking for it if the house sells for $501,000. Everybody says, we sold the house for over asking, and everybody gets all excited. But the truth of the matter is the house never should have been listed at $450,000 to begin with. All they were trying to do is get some excitement on the property and get some momentum going. So there is no realistic price per se. You've got to do your own homework. You've got to look at some CMAs, comparative market analysis. And that is, if you do your research and you check into houses properly that have sold in the area and houses that are for sale, you can get an idea what day they sold and how much they got for them. Now, most agents should be forthcoming and be honest and tell you that information. Many of them won't. So this is something you have to do yourself. So you have a general rule. But I want you to keep in mind that if a price, for argument's sake, is $500,000 and you pay $500,000 for it, you're forgetting that there's land transfer tax. So close to 5% in Toronto, 2.5% when you go in northern areas or north of Steeles. Add on 5% to $500,000 a year now at $525,000. That's before legal fees. That's before any other expenses incurred when you're purchasing a house. Needless to say, if you have to do some work to the house to get it in the condition that you'll be happy with. So, say for argument's sake that house stands you $525,000. In 6 months from now, you decide that it wasn't the right house for you and you want to sell it again. Well, you better add on commissions again to resell the property unless you're thinking of selling it yourself. So typically between 4 and 5% between your agent and the cooperating agent. So again, on $525,000 or whatever you have invested, plus any carrying costs you've incurred, plus anything you've done to improve the house, now you got to get another, $25,000, $30,000 on top just to break even before legals, before anything else. So when I put offers on houses, I want to be 10 to 15% below the market value. And if I happen to lose the property, so be it. But I want to be safe. And if there's a downturn in the market, you have to allow for a correction. So maybe your timing sucks. Maybe it's not the right time to buy the house. I typically like buying houses when nobody wants to buy them. I pick the worst day in the wintertime sometimes. So I know there's no one out there looking and there's no one going through open houses. And I've always been lucky doing that. That's the funny thing. So, people say, well, you can't really see that well in the winter time or you can't see whatever. Sometimes I have an eye on my house and it's on the market for a while. And I like to look at that because if you look at the real estate listings, it always tells you how many days the house is on the market. And again, agents play tricks with that too, because they'll delist the house, they'll take it off the market so it doesn't show the days on the market, and they'll relist it so it appears that the house has only been on for 5 or 10 days, when in fact the house may have been on for 150 days. So a good agent will tell you these things. Asking questions, the more questions you ask, the more you'll learn. And I always say, educate yourself. You're spending a lot of money. You're going to be in that house for a long time, or it's a stepping stone to another house. So again, be conservative, be safe. No one knows when's the best time to buy and when not. You gotta really figure that out for yourselves. You know, are you better off if there was a downturn in the market and the prices came down 7%, 10%, yet the interest rates went up 2, 3%? It probably averages out. So maybe when you take a mortgage, if you get the right advisor, they'll tell you. If it's a $500,000 property and you put down 20% and you're financing, for argument's sake, $400,000, maybe you take $300,000 on a fixed mortgage and leave yourself an open line of $100,000. So if the rates happen to improve and go down, you can always lock in the $100,000 afterwards or blend the mortgage, which means putting it together. Regardless, most banks, even when you have a blended mortgage, one on a fixed term and one on an open line of credit, they'll deduct one payment out of your account. So really, you're not going to notice it at your end. And if you think that you have bonuses coming in or commissions or, you know, some other investment that's coming due 6 months from now, a year from now, or you get a promotion at work or a raise, you can always top off your mortgage, which means pay a certain percentage of the total mortgage every year, which is, you know, typically about 10%. But again, every situation is different. Listen, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I don't charge for it, and I'm free to give you whatever advice I can. And as I say, ask a few people, and that's typically what I do when I don't know something. I'll ask 2 or 3 people, and then I'll pick what I like from each person, and then I'll put it all together. Best of luck. Take care.